So I know that's a big problem everywhere globally, that we have so much packaging material, plastic, mixed material. And why is it such a big problem to replace? Like, what is the challenge here?
Yes, because the industries are already set in certain ways.
Oh, wow.
And
Okay.
eh,
I was
and
not
any
expecting this answer.
no, as in, so if we just look at because I'm an entrepreneur myself, I can understand that when a business should mean money, right?
Hmm.
And when you want to talk about profits and sustainability in terms of business, not in terms of environment, it's very
Hmm.
important that you get your raw materials very conveniently at cheaper prices and so on. So, of course, the entire civilization has evolved without, of course, I mean, I'm not blaming anyone. That time we did not know that certain things are going to be harmful,
Yeah.
right? Which is also another thing I'm a big advocate of now, that it's very important to think about the adverse effects of the new materials that you are developing
Hmm.
now,
Yeah.
right? What will happen after 100 years? We have to think
Hmm.
about it because now there are methods by which you can do accelerated studies. But anyway, coming back to the food packaging industry, polythene is very easily available. HDP, LDP are very easily available, right? They are all kind of almost on demand materials. They have been scaled up. So when one's talk about replacing, for example, polythene, it's not going to be easy, even though the performance may be good in one aspect, but there are years of work behind it to make it scaled up, to make it work in the way it does, to set up the entire supply chain. So
Hmm.
that's why a disruptive innovation is not going to be so easy to adopt.
Yeah.
But that's on the business side of it. The other side of it, many a times we think, tell you a very small example. I was working with a company and they told me that they would like me to work on extending the shelf life of okra, lady's finger,
Hmm.
by only 3 days. And in those 3 days, they said, if you can even work on reducing the moisture loss from the okra, that itself will save a lot of money for us. So
Interesting.
I was like, how come that is so important? And then we realized you're working with thousands of kgs, and 1% moisture loss is going to lead to several kgs of loss
Yeah.
in terms of sales, right? So all of this put together, packaging industry has multiple problems. Consumer acceptance is another thing. You might want to be you have a clear packaging for many. So there are lots of aspects here there.
But why we have been like India has been known to be a civilization known to do things sustainably. If we look at our text, ancient texts, and historical references, there has always been a use and reuse of natural material in various forms. So, why can't we just wrap the food in a natural, or let's say in today's world, biodegradable material? I think moisture would be one of them. Am I correct?
Absolutely right. Moisture is one of them. Transportation. Today, nobody wants to eat things which is right from 100-mile distance, right? We
Oh,
all
yeah.
want exported things.
Sushis.
Sushis. I'm
Yeah.
sitting in Hyderabad, but I still want something that is available in native to Jaipur, right? So
Yeah.
transportation and storage, right?
Yeah.
And we want everything to be available round the year.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, so basically travel, storage, and then consumerism.
Okay, okay. So tell me how your group is developing this still biodegradable, still sustainable packaging, which still makes the food last longer. What
Hmm.
is how and how is nanocellulose working in this regard?
Right. Um, it's not easy, first of all, and I
Of
won't
course.
claim that we have been able to scale it up
Okay.
or convince anyone to start using it. But at the same time, I would say small things make a lot of difference. Again, going back to business here. So we can make a sustainable packaging But then one has to choose, when you change the packaging material, it is which segment which will be ready to take up that change in the pricing because of packaging. Where are the margins high? One has to figure that out. And that's where you start working when you want to talk about new material. But when you
Okay.
want to talk about bulk and low margin materials, you need to talk about bulk packaging, where you can do small changes in the existing packaging. So,
Okay.
looking at the first one, if you talk about exotic cheese, for example, if you talk about exotic fruits, they
Mm-hmm.
may be able to take in a few rupees of packaging change. So, we are looking at wrapping cheese with a
Okay.
sustainable coating, because in cheese packaging, muffin packaging, microplastics are a problem actually,
Okay.
because the inner coating of the packaging material does break down and lead to microplastics. So
Yeah.
that's what we are trying to replace there. In case of bulk packaging, we say we will not change the existing packaging material because that's not in our capacity to do it, or it will
Mm-hmm.
take several years to make it happen. But we are
Mm-hmm.
introducing patches which can be put inside the packaging material so that it can prevent degradation for longer period of time. Now, how does bacterial cellulose come into picture here is that because of its nanoporous nature, the exchange of gases between the inside and the outside of the packaging can be regulated very clearly. Second is you can add active agents there, for example, antimicrobials, like silver nanoparticles, zinc oxide nanoparticles, essential oils, and so on, which can make it antimicrobial. Or one can add things which absorb ethylene like gases, which leads to maturation of fruits very, very quickly. So ethylene adsorbers is also something, scavengers as we call it, is also very
Oh.
easy to add in bacterial cellulose given its porous nature. So that
So
is
this
how
would be
we are.
something like a desiccant or a silica gel, which we often
Huh,
find in
right,
packaging, but with more
right.
functionality that you are mentioning.
That is one. And silica gel is again not a very sustainable material.
Yeah.
Regenerating it again will take time. So
Yeah.
that is the thing. And they work primarily as moisture, of course, to some extent with other gases as well.